Hey guys, Scripttrooper here with another video, and I hope you guys are ready, because this is gonna hurt and sting your soul. The Huffington Post. I don't think I've read a Huffington Post article in probably, I don't even know how many years. Racist Star Wars. Sorry, I have a hard time even reading the headline. It's super funny though. Thank you, Michael Arsenault. Guest? He's a guest. They actually put this guy on here for this specific task. Wow. Okay. That's a really sensible and smart thing to do, is to have a guest writer named Michael Arsenault write an article titled "Racist Star Wars Fans, Star Wars in Quotation." This is my favorite article already. Help set the Acolyte up, and then quote, the Acolyte up to fail. I don't even know what he's supposed to be, what that even means, putting that crap, putting these things in quotations, Star Wars and the Acolyte, whatever. It was the racist fans that helped set the Acolyte up to fail. Well, of course, because it can't possibly be the people who made it. We can't possibly look at the quality of the show. That would be tantamount to blaspheming. So we don't want to do that. We want to blame the racists. Oh man, I gotta click on this guy. I gotta see what he's doing. Michael Arsenault is the New York Times best-selling author of "I Can't Date Jesus," Love, Sex, and Other Reasons I've Put My Faith in Beyonce, and I Don't Want to Die Poor. Wow, this is like the Biggest Loser in high school who thinks he's cool and has that I could just picture him. He has that insecure laugh. He's insecurely laughing. Wow, okay, so this dude's okay, whatever. This is hilarious. Okay. It was sad to hear Amandla Stenberg say she wasn't surprised by the cancellation of The Acolyte. And this is Amandla now. I'm going to be transparent and say it's not a huge shock for me. And this is from that stupid video she put out that blamed all the ists and phobes and everything for their crappy show. After the show came out. Or after the show, was over. After the finale. A couple days later. The Acolyte, helmed by Leslie Headland, was not perfect, but it certainly had more to say than The Book of Boba Fett. Yeah. Yep. I would agree, actually. The Book of Boba Fett was a completely stupid show and completely pointless. I reviewed it. It's just awful. But this definitely had more to say in terms of warping the Jedi, warping the lore, making Yoda and the Council a bunch of liars, Sith showing up in the 1,000 Years of Peace and killing Jedi, and wrecking lore. So I mean, yeah. And then no actual scene with Darth Plagueis, just having him stand there and look at people leaving on a ship, because Leslie Headland was so arrogant that she just assumed she was going to get a season 2 to have Plagueis in it. Yeah, so I agree with that. Way to go, Michael. That's a point, Michael. I get that one. As a Star Wars fan, I rooted for the series to catch on with viewers. Though The Acolyte was Disney Plus's biggest series premiere in 2024, Ahsoka, the previous release-led Rosario Dawson, had much higher ratings for its debut, the first season of the series. Okay, but Michael, stop though. Don't go by, it's the biggest series premiere of 2024. Go by overall ratings all time. It's awful. It's awful. It's terrible. You're talking Rings of Power level. It's bad. No one's watching it, dude. Of course Ahsoka had higher ratings. It's Ahsoka. Ahsoka was in Clone Wars. There's a whole pile of people that love Clone Wars, and so they watched the premiere. I don't think people care that much about Ahsoka now, but they definitely did when it first came out. Absolutely. But no one cared about The Acolyte. The first season of the series also cost well over $100 million to make. Well over it cost $180 million. Why do these people write these articles like this? They always downplay the bad and try to exaggerate the good. It's the biggest series premiere of 2024. And it cost well over $100 million to make. No, it cost just under $200 million to make is what you should have said. You see what I'm saying? Like, they word it to try and manipulate dumb people into thinking it's better than it is. Every sentence. It's nuts. So I understand the economics of the streamer's decision, but I'm still disappointed about not getting a second season. Yeah, whoop-de-doo, nobody cares. Unfortunately, the Acolyte may have had to contend with franchise fatigue before it had premiered. Yeah, that's what it was. It had nothing to do with the fact that they marketed the entire show on diversity and DEI instead of a good story. It had nothing to do with that, Michael. It had nothing to do with, at convention, every interview talked about how much diversity there was. We have all these skin colors and genders, and look at us! Instead of, we wrote this really cool Star Wars show, and it's about this and this and this. No, it was like, it had nothing to do with that. It was franchise fatigue. Now, I'm not going to lie. They're making too much stuff. I 100% agree with that. But the Acolyte failed because it failed. Stop blaming everything other than the people who made the show, Michael. I don't know if you know them, if they're your buddies, if you guys have barbecues together, but whatever. Stop this nonsense. But the bigger issue is that there was a very vocal contingent of fans unhappy with the show from the start. These detractors not only complained about the show's casting, but also review bombed the series as it premiered. Did they, though? Let's see. Did they, though? Is reportedly review bombed by racist franchise. Wait, there's another one. Kate, who are these people? No, and I've said this 100 times. There are people on Twitter that were claiming this, and they would always post a photo just before the show would air. Right, each episode of, look at all these review bombs! And it was like 79 reviews, 88 reviews, it'd be like under 100 reviews were already in before the episode had come out. And then in the end, it was like 15,000 total reviews. So if you actually think that the less than 100 people who were review bombing it before it came out actually made a dent in the 15 or 16 or 18% it ended up getting on Rotten Tomatoes, you're dumb. And I say this every time, if the show was so beloved by so many people, then why wouldn't it have at least bumped up, right? Like if there's review bombing going on, but there's also people that on the other side, after watching it, that really love it, they drop a review, you would at least say it would be like 50%, 60%, not at 15%. So sorry, but again, this is a fun article. I love this. I love these dumb articles. There's been a rampage of vitriol. Vitriol is the new word, by the way. Amanda Stenberg, I don't think most of these people knew what vitriol even meant. And then Amanda Stenberg's handlers told her to use it. There's been a rampage of vitriol we have faced since the show was even announced, when it was still just a concept and nobody had even seen it. She described hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol, prejudice, hatred, and hateful language towards us. Yes. The only people that didn't like the Acolyte were the hyper-conservatives. You couldn't possibly be on the left and not like the Acolyte. It had DEI. We had representation. And that's enough. You don't have to write a good story. There's no possible way, if you're on the left, that you wouldn't love it. Because people on the left only care about intrinsic things that you can't change about yourself. Being in a show. They don't want it to be written well. They just want your skin color that you can't change to be the main focal point. That's what people on the left like. It's just so stupid. It's as if Landau Calrissian, his cape, and that bouncy hair never existed to these goofy people. That's the point, dummy. He did exist, and we love him as a character. Nobody cares. No conservatives don't care. Left-wingers don't care. The show just sucks. You need to move on with life. Stenberg acknowledged that she was initially impacted by the attacks, but she also said that it was an incredible honor and dream to be in the Star Wars universe. I don't know why you would say that. If I was her, I would not say anything. Think about the veteran actors and actresses. Like, you look at somebody like Carrie Ann Moss, she did a series of media events prior to the show, none of which she showed a lot of enthusiasm because she knew it sucked. Hasn't done anything post Acolyte. Just go away, because the show sucked, and she knows it sucked. And she didn't say it was an incredible dream and honor because it wasn't, because the show sucked. She collected her paycheck and went home. Like, guys, that's what Amanda needs to learn, is that it's not that deep. It's just a crappy show. Collect your paycheck, go away. Don't make videos on Leslie Headland's behalf. Don't put yourself... Why are you putting yourself out there? Who is telling her to do that? To do these videos? Does Amanda Stenberg not have an agent? Sorry, I spilled coffee again. I did this like a few months ago, too. Does Amanda Stenberg not have an agent to be like, yeah, don't comment, just leave it? It's just the stupidity level of, like, her coming out and making a video about it being canceled on behalf of, like, Leslie Headland and Leslie Headland's wife and Kathleen Kennedy and all these people. It's like, why are you doing this, dude? Like, did they make you do that? Because why would you do that? Like I said, all the veteran actors just walked away. Yeah, Manny Jacinto said a couple things. He really wants season 2, but Lee or whatever, the guy, the Squid Game guy, he was like, he made a couple comments. Oh, it's kind of sad, blah, blah, blah. But they're not, like, making videos on Instagram and TikTok to, like, beg for season 2 or whatever. Like, Leslie Headland came out and said, oh, use social media to get us to season 2. Yeah, okay, Leslie Headland, but why is Amanda Stenberg doing this? Like, Leslie Headland's desperate for, she failed and she wants you to, she's the showrunner. Why would an actor on the show be doing this? Anyways, it's so ill-advised and dumb. Of course, I'm very sad about the show being canceled, she said. I just want to let those people know out there who supported us vocally, despite and in the face of all the vitriol. Pamela Stenberg loves that word. That we received, and the kind of targeted attack, I would say, received by the alt-right. It's the alt-right! Just that you were deeply loved and appreciated, and I made this job all worthwhile for me. Now he's going to get into the nonsense here. Before Stenberg, John Boyega faced a similar racist backlash as the lead actor in Star Wars sequel. No longer part of the franchise, Boyega can often be seen on Twitter rightfully cussing out racist Star Wars fans who try him. Okay, let's see what he's talking about here. Let's see the receipts. And he's already proved that he has no problem calling out certain people on social media after the police involved George Floyd. You see, this guy says, Michael says, John Boyega faced similar backlash as the lead actor in Star Wars. He's responding to a George Floyd tweet. Minnesota resident George Floyd made John Boyega, along with other celebrities, share their feelings about the incident. He wrote, I really hate racists. That has nothing to do with Star Wars. You see what these people are doing? Like, they are banking, Michael is banking on people reading this article being morons who won't actually click on the link and see the context. Hate is a strong word. We can't conquer hate with hatred. We say we hate their attitude. Said what I said, whatever, who cares? Now it appears John Boyega is still dealing with critics, and this time he had a message for toxic Star Wars fans. He wrote, Toxic Star Wars fans still find their way to my mentions. Lord, must I be blunt? I don't with you anymore. Okay, toxic could just mean jerks. There's nothing about racism other than the George Floyd one. Thank you, I've moved on. Like, nothing here has any... Like, this guy, Michael, is banking on you reading this article, being too stupid to click on this. So this is a nothing. And then, okay, let's go on to Kelly Marie Tran, who starred in The Last Jedi, also receives racist and sexist commentary from online trolls. Apparently. We don't know to the degree, because no one shows any receipts. They just say it happened. I'm sure there was a few dummies, of course. There's always a few, but you're in the public eye. Anyone who's on social media is going to get a bit of that. That's just the way it is. But I'd love to see the degree to which she was apparently targeted, right? I think it was probably a lot more mild than they make it out to be, because again, they don't show what anyone said. Moses Ingram of Obi-Wan Kenobi experienced similar treatment. Apparently. Again, I don't know. There's no receipts. But these guys always bring this up. And again, this link to John Boyega was Bubkiss. So it's just fake. It's just all fake. I understand that ultimately there's no way to reason with these trolls. In May, while receiving the honorary Palme d'Or in the closing night ceremony at Cannes, Star Wars creator George Lucas called out criticism of the film series. Okay, I gotta open that one too. I have to. because I don't know what he's talking about. How long ago was this? Okay, so again, called out criticism of the film series. They would say it's all white men. Most of the people are aliens. The idea is you're supposed to accept people for what they are, whether they're big and furry or whether they're green or whatever. The idea is all people are equal. Well, yeah, like nobody cares about that crap. And again, I go back to those. I've said this so many times. You go back to like after Return of the Jedi, and they're like interviewing people outside, whatever it was, CBS or ABC or whatever, and it's like every color in the book of human being, and they're all loving it. Like, I don't love any show unless it has white people in it. That's it. I never liked Family Matters. I never liked The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I hated those movies. I hated Juice. I hated all those movies. Anything with black people in it is not good. Like, come on. Nobody thinks like that. It's just so stupid. And if you're one of my followers or whatever, subscribers, and you're a black guy, can you please comment and just explain to these people that no one cares? Like, it's such a tiny, minute group of people that actually care about that crap that it's like, it might as well be nothing at this point. At least some Star Wars fans believed they were fighting the woke agenda, or as some have categorized the Acolyte, anti-white propaganda. Who categorized it? Receipts. We're gonna look. Twitter trolls. What the? Twitter trolls urge boycott of Star Wars over black character. This can't be real. Anti-white propaganda. Okay. This guy, again, thinks you're stupid. He thinks you're not going to click on this. This is about John Boyega. It has nothing to do with the Acolyte. And let's see what it says. Hashtag boycott Star Wars 7 has started after trolls were angry over the casting of black actor John Boyega, claiming the film was promoting white genocide. Okay, we're going to the receipts. I'm not gonna sit here and let this happen. These people writing these articles are complete idiots. Oh, this page doesn't exist. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Right? The same user also referred to J.J. Abrams as a Jew. Okay, so one guy. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say this exists. That this one single guy, the same user, that this one guy did say crappy stuff. That's the point. It's one guy. And then look, there's all these people saying, what an idiot, what a moron. And this is what I've been saying this whole time. Like, expose them. Expose that one single guy. But they don't just expose that one single guy, they lump everybody that didn't like the Acolyte into that one single guy. That any of us that didn't like it are automatically that guy, the anti-white guy. Or whatever, that says that putting John Boyega in The Force Awakens was anti-white propaganda. And how far do you have to reach? It's 2024. When did that movie come out, The Force Awakens? 9 years ago? Think about how crazy that is. He's linking an article to a single user from 9 years ago to try and say that it was that it was people that felt like the Acolyte was anti-white propaganda. Can you imagine how insane that is? This is how insane these people are. A single user from 9 years ago talking about John Boyega. Sorry if you hear any jingling in the background. My stupid dog won't stop walking around. Okay, so like this is insane. These articles, I can't believe people read these. Like, there's no way they're clicking the links. Like, there's no way they're checking for the receipts. They're just like, who is reading this and believing any of this nonsense? After Stenberg addressed the cancellation of the Acolyte on Instagram, her co-star Manny Jacinto shared on DragonCon that his personal life goal was to see a season 2 of the show. Well, Manny, I feel like that's a pretty stupid life goal, and I think you're probably just saying that to be like, yay, I care about the Acolyte. I don't think you actually believe that, because that's a really stupid life goal, especially for a guy who's a pretty good actor and actually was one of the only good actors in The Acolyte, and his character had a lot of potential. Unfortunately, it was written into this really stupid show. If he was in any other place in the timeline and written properly, I kind of liked his character in a lot of ways. I didn't like his stupid gimp mask, because Leslie Headland and whatever weird thing she's got going on. But I did really like the idea of, like, kind of the guy who's playing it off like he's sort of this kind of somewhat goofy, normal guy, but then he knows how to make poisons and do all this stuff, kind of like a Darth Venomous type guy, which is pretty cool. I actually liked. He was the one thing that I thought was kind of cool, other than his stupid helmet. Don't make that. Yeah, I don't. There's no way that's his actual personal life goal. It's not kids. It's not buying my mom a house. It's making the Acolyte season 2. There are whispers that some who worked on the show are fighting to keep it alive. I gotta click that. I'm sorry, I have to. A glimmer of hope for the Acolyte season 2, September 2nd. No, I don't think there's any hope of a season 2. What the heck is this crap? Why do they do this? Why do they make ads cover the entire... Look at this. I can't even read the article because it's just ads. Jeez. Okay. It would be symbolic. Disney's not your friend. They're a corporate entity. And they very much look at... Yeah, profit loss above all else. Yes, of course. You're not going to make another season when it made no money. It lost money. Man, this is nonsense. There are whispers. They did a whole, change.org poll, and they got 60,000 people. 60,000 people want the Acolyte to come back. Can you make a $180 million show with 60,000 people wanting it? No! This is so stupid. Why are they still fussing over this stupid show? If there's a way to produce more TV with Jacinto as a Sith Lord, I encourage all parties involved to please find a way. No, and again, going back to what I said about his character, that's the sad part. The sad part is that they put him in this stupid, crappy show, and now they can't use him. They finally came up with kind of a cool villain, and it's a complete waste. It's a complete and utter waste. So, way to go, dummies. Everything Disney Lucasfilm does is just stupid. Cut some of the CGI budget if you have to. What CGI budget? All I saw was low budget, cheap costumes. Did they even have any? Oh, that's CGI when Anastasia turned into a fart and then got stabbed. What else did they have CGI for? Maybe just the lightsabers, I guess? Do whatever it takes short of playing with the actors' salaries. Short of playing with... Make sure they get paid. Because I care about them. I'm Michael. And I care about you, just Manny. It's so stupid. If the Acolyte were to miraculously return, there would still be racist Star... Oh, they're everywhere. There's just racist Star Wars fans. There's everywhere. The racists. Whining about there being too many blacks, Asians, and lesbians. Okay, now before we go any further, guys, remember, he linked one article from 9 years ago citing a racist talking about John Boyega for The Force Awakens 9 years ago. A single user. That's the article he linked to. It says right on it, a user. But somehow, all the racists got the Acolyte canceled. These people, man. The coping, it's not even coping. It's like noping. It's like dumbing. They don't even I wonder if this guy wrote this and then read it. And then was yeah, that's where I'm setting that in. I don't think he did. I think if he read this, he'd be whoa, what am I saying? I'm glad Disney and Lucasfilm remain committed to casting choices that allow viewers to believe that anyone can exist in science fiction. Yeah, because Disney and Lucasfilm are the first and only people to ever do that. Remember, folks, the guy who starred in the what's the Marvel movie with the Chinese guy? Oh, what's it called again? It sucked, so I don't even remember. I can't remember. Anyway, he came out. They had planned a trilogy and all this stuff, and he came out and said, "I'm happy to be the first Chinese guy or Asian." He said. I'm happy to be the first Asian ever to be a star in an action movie in America. He actually said that. And what's her name? Hunger Games chick. I can't remember her name again. My mind is just blank right now. She was the first ever female action star. She said that in an interview. These people are nuts. That guy saying that Disney and Lucasfilm are the first people to ever do that? Are you out of your mind? They're the last people to do that. Disney was very into that for a very long time. Before the Asian guy that was in the Marvel movie, and again, I wish I could remember the title of it, Shin or something? I don't know. Anyways. There was Chow Yun-Fat, there was Bruce Lee, there was Jackie Chan for a decade. They just make it like, thank goodness for Disney and Lucasfilm because they're the first ever people to put black people in on film. It's literally movies going back to the 30s that have black people. Like, what are you talking about? These people are mental cases. Anyone who believes this nonsense is an idiot. I'm sorry, you're an idiot. If you believe this, you're an idiot. Comment, go ahead, you're an idiot. Even if some fans resent them for it. Oh, I resent them for it. I resented George Lucas too when he put Billy D. Williams in there. I was super ticked. I hated Return of the Jedi because of that. And I hated The Empire Strikes Back. It ruined it. Billy D. Williams. Ugh. It's just like, come on. I'm not sure what can be done exactly about those particular fans. Like that one guy, that one user 9 years ago. I'm not sure what can be done about him. I suppose, at the very least, TV review sites can improve on ways to thwart review bombing. It's the review bombing, folks. It's not the fact that the ratings were low and it lost money and they lost subscriptions to Disney Plus because it sucked. It's the review bombing. But even if the resentment of racist Star Wars fans is illogical, ahistorical, and incredibly dumb, it is also loud and distracting. I know it is for me. I go on Twitter and all I see is racist Star Wars fans, folks. That's all I ever see. And it's very distracting. What? This is gold. This person's a moron. Most of all, it's an extra burden for these actors in these roles to carry. Yeah, I really feel bad for Amanda Stenberg growing up in her rich childhood and then being a Nepo hire because her dad knows everybody, who's white, by the way, and she's filthy rich and does Instagram videos while she's fixing her hair because she can't care enough about the fans to even, stop for a second and talk to them. She's got to fix her hair while she's talking to them. I really feel bad for Amanda. The Acolyte and its cast, for many reasons, deserved more of a chance than their critics allowed. No, they didn't. No, they got their chance. They aired the show. The critics spoke. It sucked. End of story. Whatever can be done to better drown out future racist tirades. Where's the racist tirades against the Acolyte and campaigns against Star Wars projects to come? The time to get started on that work starts now. Yeah, we got to stop that one guy from 9 years ago. We got to stop that one guy from 9 years ago, man. I bet you there's another guy now. I'll bet you there's another guy now. We got to stop him. That one guy. Get him. Cancel his account. Dox him. That guy that doesn't like black people. It's just so stupid. Meanwhile, I'm hoping for a better reincarnation than what we got in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. What a weird last line. This is your guest writer, HuffPo? Michael Arsenault? Lame, bro. Anyway, this is hilarious, and the media is melting down. The left-wing media is melting down. I don't know why I have to even say that. Why is it always left-wing and right-wing? Like, lots of liberals hated this stupid show. They thought it sucked. Just like everybody else. It has nothing to do with politics. I'm getting sucked in, right, to the idea that it has something to do with politics. There's nothing to do with it. It's just bull crap. The show sucked. Let me know in the comment section what you think. And if you like this content, please like, subscribe. It always helps the channel. Feel free to check out everything else on my channel, and have yourselves a really good day.